three biggest trading partners. Economists of all stripes say that ultimately consumers pay the price of tariffs.
I don't believe
Can you guarantee American families won't pay more?
I can't guarantee anything. I can't guarantee tomorrow.
Right off the bat, like, this is only 4 minutes within the conversation, and he can't guarantee that this is not going to affect the American people. I don't watch more videos learning about tariffs, how they originated, the ins and outs of it. I don't watch more videos than I would like to admit. And this guy says, well, I can't guarantee to the American people. Like, what do you mean? So Donald Trump has done his first interview after being reelected just a month ago. And it's a long one. It's an hour and 16 minutes. Trust me, I'm not going to put you guys through that torture to watch this entire thing, because trust me, it took me almost 2 hours. I had to pause and just kind of collect my thoughts, scream at the wall, scream, into the void, because I know nobody is listening. But there's a few, probably like 5-6 moments that I want to kind of highlight with you guys on just how stupid this guy is. And for everyone who voted for Trump, you are an idiot, because he has nothing of value for you guys. And a lot of the things that we would just assume that you just wholeheartedly go for, he's now just like backpedaling, which is weird. You know what I'm saying? And like I said before, you guys get no money back on your purchase. This is what we have to look for the next 4 years. So let's go ahead and kind of get into this.
All right, we're going to delve into your cabinet picks a little bit later, but I want to delve into one of your signature promises on the campaign trail, which was to end inflation, to lower prices. You are now proposing tariffs against the United States' three biggest trading partners. Economists of all stripes say that ultimately consumers pay the price of tariffs.
I don't believe
Can you guarantee American families won't pay more?
I can't guarantee anything. I can't guarantee tomorrow.
Right off the bat, like, this is only 4 minutes within the conversation, and he can't guarantee that this is not going to affect the American people. I don't watch more videos learning about tariffs, how they originated, the ins and outs of it. I don't watch more videos than I would like to admit. And this guy says, well, I can't guarantee to the American people. Like, what do you mean? Like, people voted for you to lower prices because rent is so damn high, groceries so damn high, gas is so damn high, and you are going to impose a tariff war, and you can't guarantee to the American people that their prices won't go up. I mean, hey, if you're a Trump supporter and you're watching this, you are an idiot, because you know this guy wasn't going to do that. You know damn well he wasn't going to do that, but let's let him continue.
Tomorrow. But I can say that if you look at just pre-COVID, we had the greatest economy in the history of our country. And I had a lot of tariffs on a lot of different countries, but in particular China. We took in hundreds of billions of dollars, and we had no inflation. In fact, when I handed it over, they didn't have inflation for a year and a half. They went almost 2 years just based on what I had created. And then they created inflation with energy and with spending too much. So,
yeah, once again, that is factually incorrect. Once again, I done looked at inflation for the past 10, 15, 20 years in the past 3-4 months, and I am tired of talking about inflation. Inflation started when COVID started, keeping people from working, closing down businesses, skyrocketing just about everything imaginable, keeping people at home. That was under Trump's watch. Why are we pretending like it wasn't? Hey, guys, wake up. That was under Trump, and he passed that along to Biden, and things still continue to be fucked up for everyone. And then Biden, just so happenly, after a year, year and a half, 2 years, started to bring everything back down. But once again, why am I rehearsing things that you guys have been through? We should understand and remember this. But once again, Trump supporters have the memory of a goldfish, which is horrible. So let's go to the next moment at 2:34.
You had that conversation.
Not that conversation, but I had other conversations. Okay. But in the past, I've had that conversation.
Let me ask you about another aspect of the economy, sir, the minimum wage. The federal minimum wage has been $7.25 since 2009. There are 20 states that still have the federal minimum wage at $7.25. And I actually have a map. 19 of these states actually voted for you, sir.
And this was one of my main concerns. Like if I had like to rank my concerns was minimum wage, because a lot of people are working these jobs that base their pay off of minimum wage. So if it's only $7.25 in 2024, something is wrong with this country. That should not. That's like third world type of pay right there. Like $7 is not going to get you anywhere here in America. $7 is not going to provide for a single person. No, it is not. But, you know, it seemed like people wanted to ignore it. So I'm glad that she brought this up. Let's listen to his answer.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see it right here. I don't know if you remember this, but during the debate in 2020, I asked you if you would raise the minimum wage. You said you would consider it. And so my question for you is, now that you are going back to the White House, for these 19 states that voted for you, are you going to raise the federal minimum wage? It's a very low
number. I will agree. It's a very low number. Let me give you the downside, though. Yeah. In California, they raised it up to a very high number. And your restaurants are going out of business all over the place. The population is shrinking. It's had a very negative impact. But there is a level at which you could do it, absolutely.
Which is a lie. I checked the numbers, and California is actually, their GDP and what they do just in California alone beats economies throughout the world, which is crazy. Like, I don't know how that works, but California, despite all these celebrities, what they say about California, they're doing so. You know what I'm saying? Like, they do have a lot of crime, which is, I mean, understandable for the amount of people living in California. But for what he's saying, once again, is a lie. So let's continue.
Yeah. What is that level?
I don't know. I mean, I really don't know. I can say this. You have a lot of businesses that are open and thriving because of the lower minimum wage. If you raise it too much, and you understand this, if California went crazy, they went crazy. And the restaurants are closing all over. Many more people are hurt.
So I hear you saying, similarly to sort of what you said in 2020, will you consider, is this something you're going to look at?
I'd want to speak to the governors. And the other thing that's very complicated about minimum wages is places are so different. Mississippi and Alabama and great places are very different than New York or California. I mean, in terms of the cost of living and other things. So it would be nice to have just a minimum wage for the whole country, but it wouldn't work because you have places where it's very inexpensive to live, where a minimum wage, which is $8 or $9, might have very little effect because the cost of living in certain places is really low.
So once again, I'm glad that he knows that certain places have different costs of living, but when it comes to $7 an hour, I don't know where you live to say, you know what, $7 an hour, $7.25. Okay, my bad. $7.25 an hour is enough to support myself, let alone if I want to start a family, have some kids, start up my own business, pursue some of my hobbies. If $7 an hour is enough for you and you're watching this, let me know in the comments. Hey, I will eat this back up. But unfortunately, I live in the real world to where I know $7 an hour is not going to take care of a grown individual. And unfortunately, if businesses are thriving by paying their employees only $7 an hour, and that person understand that that's not a livable wage, unfortunately, maybe that business does not need to exist. Just because you have a business doesn't mean that it needs to thrive. You still need to pay people a livable wage because they're bringing you income. Does that make sense? I mean, maybe I just don't have a heart for every small business out there, but people need to live. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're paying like kids 17, 18 years old, then okay, I got you. But at some point, grown-ups are not going to be looking at your jobs, and those kids are going to outgrow that position. You know, so once again, the minimum wage is extremely important. You can throw anything else. You can, just like Harris's, ideas when it comes to providing money for houses or having kids or starting a business. None of that means nothing if your job isn't supporting a livable wage. You can't buy a house. You're not even thinking about buying a house. You're not even thinking about starting your own business because your job isn't paying nothing. So what does anything else matter at that point? All right, let's go to the next point. 1545. Oh, we were just right there. All right, 1545.
1,099 murderers released into our country over the last 3 years. They're walking down the streets. They're walking next to you and your family, and they're very dangerous.
The 13,000 figure, I think, goes back about 40 years.
No, it doesn't. No,
that
it's within the 3-year period.
figure.
It's during the Biden term. No, that was a fiction that they put that out. This was done by the Border Patrol. It's 13,099, and it's during the Biden period of time. And these are murderers, many of whom murdered more than one person. You don't want those people in this country.
But you're saying something, sir, that's significant. I just want to make sure I'm clear, which is that you're saying, yes, you're going to focus on the people with criminal histories, but everyone who's here illegally has to go.
I'm saying this. We have to get the criminals out of our country. We have to get people that were taken out of mental institutions and put them back into their mental institution, no matter what country it is. Do you know that Venezuela, their prisons are at the lowest point in terms of emptiness that they've ever been? They're taking their people out of those prisons by the thousands, and they're drunk. And just to get back, because I know exactly what you're getting at. Number one, we're doing criminals, and we're going to do them really rapidly. We're getting the worst gang probably with MS-13, and the Venezuelan gangs are the worst in the world. They're vicious, violent people. And you see what they've done in Colorado and other places. They're taking over, literally taking.
In Colorado, once again, I done talked about this. I live in Colorado. I live in Aurora, okay? Born and raised here. There was no MS-13, 14, 15. There's no Venezuelan gangs taking over the entire city. Aurora alone has over 330,000 people. In majority of them are black folks and brown folks. Do you think we're going to allow some immigrants, 15, 20, 30 of them, to take over this entire city? Don't think so. Hey, we believe in the Second Amendment too over here. So I'm just saying, like, once again, people who don't understand are eating this up and they believe this. But I do like how she kind of pushed back on
apartment complexes and doing it with impunity. They don't care. They couldn't. They just are. They're in the real estate business.
The local police say that is not the case in Colorado.
Oh, it's totally the case. I mean, you
don't believe the local police.
I play it. I used to play it at my rallies every single night. No, they're breaking into doors. They're taking over the building.
But sir, you
and by the way,
the
police are afraid to do anything.
You raised the point that the logistics are complicated. You said it yourself.
But everything's complicated.
Yeah, you need 24 times more ICE detention capacity just to deport 1 million people per year, not to mention more agents, more judges, more planes. Is it realistic to deport everyone who's here illegally?
You have no choice. First of all, they're costing us a fortune. But we're starting with the criminals, and we got to do it. And then we're starting with others, and we're going to see how it goes.
Who are the others?
Others are other people outside of criminals. We have convicted murders. We don't mean people that are even on trial. We have people that have murdered numerous people are on our streets.
So once again, like I don't. It's just weird how he doesn't know how to engage in a conversation. He just old person brain, but whatever. But one of the bigger conversations, especially with Hispanic people and Mexican, everyone, okay, is that Trump only wants to get rid of the criminals, the illegal criminals, but he's going to leave me and my family alone. Unfortunately, you're wrong. And if you have, relatives, family who voted for Trump and thinking that they're going to leave you alone, unfortunately, that is a lie that you have eaten up. And once again, I hope individuals are full. I hope they get what they deserve, because once again, when you're messing with a con man, okay, you're going to get conned one way or another. That's how that works. That's how the cookie crumbles, unfortunately. So,
in our farms, and we have to get them out of our country.
What about dreamers, sir? Dreamers who were brought to this country illegally as children. You said once back in 2017, they, quote, shouldn't be very worried about being deported. Should they be worried now?
The dreamers are going to come later, and we have to do something about the dreamers, because
the dreamers are coming later. Man, oh man, y'all, I just hope, you better just hope that he's just all gas right now, because, man, not only is it going to be expensive as hell, but a lot of people are going to be highly disappointed. All right, let's go to the next section here.
Lawmakers on Capitol Hill, they say it's no longer feasible to repeal and replace Obamacare because it's so entrenched in the system. Do you see it that way? Is that now off the table, repealing and replacing
when John
Obamacare?
McCain let us down by voting, and Murkowski and Collins and whoever it was that voted against, but they really let us down. They did us a great disservice, because we would have had great health. Obamacare is lousy health care. It's very expensive health care for the people. It's also expensive for the country, but for the people. It's lousy health care. When John McCain gave his thumbs down, after saying for 10 years that he wants to repeal and replace, okay? And then he came out, put his now famous thumbs down, and he became a hero to the left. Let me tell you, if we find something better, okay, I would love to do it. But unless we find, but one thing I have to say, I inherited.
And he keeps saying, if we find something, like, I don't, and she's going to hit on this a little bit later, but I am just at a loss for words, like literally, on how people who voted for Trump, and especially with this whole CEO getting killed, and all of a sudden this is uniting Republicans and Democratic voters, but those who voted for Trump, now you're mad about healthcare, and he's literally stumbling over his words on how he's going to replace it, or how is he going to make it better. He literally has no plan, to say the least. Okay, hey, there you go. He still has no plan on how to fix healthcare. But he's been planning to be president for how long? 4 years since he lost in 2020, and he still doesn't have a plan. Give me 4 months. Hell, give me 4 weeks. I will come up with something better than
Obamacare or anything else you want to go. It's got about 20 names, but I inherited it. And I had a decision to make with Health and Human Services. I had a big decision to make. Do I make it as good as we can make it, or do I let it rot? And a lot of political people said, let it rot and let it be a failure. I said, that's not the right thing to do. And I had very good people in the medical area that handled that. And I said, what do you want to do? He said, we really have an obligation to make it as good as we can. And we did. We made it as good as we can make it. Instead of making it bad where everybody would be calling for its repeal, I made it so that it works. Now,
but you did try to overturn it, sir.
It's
you did
lousy.
Try to overturn it. You did have your Justice Department try to direct the Supreme Court to overturn it.
No, we got a little bit of a surprising opinion, to be honest with you. If it would have been overturned, we would have had much better health care right now. But right now, we have something that I made the best of. I could have made the worst of it, and it would have fallen by the wayside. I did the right thing from a human standpoint, but I'm sort of proud of my decision. At the same time, sometimes I regret it. I told the people, and I gave them the money to do it. I said, fix it, make it work, because people would have suffered. But it's too bad that they voted no. I wish John McCain, he fought for 10 years on replacing Obamacare. For 10 years, and then he voted against. Nobody understands it.
Sir, you said during the campaign you had concepts of a plan. Do you have an actual plan at this point for health?
Hold on. Let's check the answer. Hey, let me know in the comments what you think he is going to say. Hey, let's put a bet, $1 right now. What do you think he's going to say with this whole concepts of a plan? Let's go ahead and take a listen.
Care?
Yes, we have concepts of a plan that would be better.
Still just concepts? Do you have a fully developed plan?
Let me explain. We have the biggest healthcare companies looking at it. We have doctors.
This dude still has a concept of a plan in regards to healthcare. I don't think you guys understand the gravity of that. He still just has I don't even think he has a concept of a plan. And people voted for him to make things better. Man, oh man, people are so ignorant. It is sad at this point.
I'm putting myself in a position like that. So things do change, but I don't think it's going to change at all.
Okay. Let's talk about some of your picks to fill out your administration. You named Kash Patel to be the next FBI director. Yeah. He has a list in his book of 60 people that he calls members of the so-called deep state. It includes Democrats like Joe Biden and Hillary Clinton. It includes former members of your cabinet, from Bill Barr to Christopher Wray. You campaigned on destroying the deep state. Do you want Kash Patel to launch investigations into people on that list?
No, I mean, he's going to do what he thinks is right.
Do you think that's right? Do you think that's right, sir?
If they think that somebody was dishonest or crooked or a corrupt politician, I think he probably has an obligation to do it. But
are you going to direct him to do it?
No, not at all.
So once again, hey guys, for everyone said, hey, he's not a fascist. He's not a dictator. He's not going to do all the things that the whole left media is claiming that he's going to do. And he literally and hopefully he doesn't get in. But if he lets in this Kash Patel guy, if he goes after political opponents for little to no bullshit ass reasons other than to make a spectacle, that's literally fascism. Do you not understand that? But once again, a lot of idiots, no, you guys are overreacting. He's not going to really do it. He's just putting on a show. He's just saying things, Let that happen. I want to hear the excuses after that. But there you go.
We have two great people there. We have him and we have Pam. And Pam Bondi has been like a rocket ship. She's very popular and very good and very fair. And Kash Patel is very fair. I'll tell you, I thought Kash may be difficult because he's, a strong conservative voice.
Yeah, we get it.
And I don't know of anybody that's not singing his praises. The other day I was watching, and Trey Gowdy, who's
a lot of people
a moderate person and very smart, and everybody is the man that you're talking about.
Okay. Let's talk about Project 2025. This is the conservative policy blueprint. You disavowed it during the campaign. You called it a product of the radical right. You've said some of their ideas were abysmal.
I said some of it is. Some of it is very good. Some of it's very mainstream, actually. Frankly, the Democrats should have used some of it because they went, with all the transgender that they were doing and with the men playing in women's sports. Well, if they wouldn't have done that, maybe they would have done better.
Well, so you take me to my question. You're now giving people involved in Project 2025 prominent roles in your administration. Are you changing your mind about Project 2025? No. Is this now the policy blueprint for the second Trump administration?
No. Some people, if you take a look at the group, it was hundreds of people were involved. And I was actually, I reprimanded the whole group. I said, you shouldn't have placed this document in front of the voters because I have nothing to do with it and I'm the one that's running. You had no right to do this where you put a 1,000-page document in front, and many of those things I disagree with. Now, Many of those things I happen to agree with. Many of those things Democrats should have agreed to. And I think they would have done much better in the election because they got slaughtered.
Well, I guess people see the list: Russ Vought, Brendan Carr, Peter Navarro, John Ratcliffe, Pete Hoekstra, Monica Crowley. And they think these are all of the people who were involved in or writing Project 2025. This must be a blueprint for work requirements, eliminating the Head Start program, criminalizing pornography. Is that what we can expect to see?
Well, I don't know how they voted. I don't know. I never spoke to them actually about it. And I purposely...
Hey, guys, if you're buying this, please reevaluate your life. He's literally picking these people. So how does he not know their history? Maybe that should be something he should look into. But like, hey, you're a part of this this book, this plan, this policy plan that I've been telling the American people that I have no business with this book. But yet he's hiring people who are directly involved into Project 2025. So if they're involved in that, do you not think they're going to bring some of those beliefs, if you agree or not, with them into that position? So once again, am I the only one that's seeing a literal liar sitting here in front of us, lying to millions of people about this? Hell, man.
And I told you, normally it would be just the opposite. I'd review every page. I purposely didn't even want to see it because when somebody like you asked me a question about Project 2025, I can honestly say I've never seen it. I have nothing to do with it. I didn't read it, but I did hear some things in there that I would totally disagree with. And I said to the people that were really the people behind it, you know who those people are? I said, you really had no right doing this to me because they used it as a soundbite, the Democrats. And I don't know, it couldn't have been too effective because they got slaughtered, but they did use it as a soundbite.
But to people who see, oh, he's bringing in all of these people from Project 2025, he must know what it is.
Well,
you know what?
I don't know what it is, no. I don't know what it is.
You still don't know
what
it is?
But I heard certain things that I didn't like. And by the way, I heard certain things that are phenomenal. Okay?
Like what?
Like law and order. We want law and order. Okay? Little things like, let's put prisoners in jail. Let's not let people come out and raid every drugstore in Manhattan.
That's what he read in there was law and order. Okay, I seen Law and Order and like I love the show, so obviously I want Law and Order. Like, no. Hey, Trump, no one believes you, okay? Or educated people who at least have a high school degree doesn't believe you, okay? But let's go ahead and check out the last point here because honestly, this is already giving me a headache. Let's see here.
169 of them have pleaded guilty to assaulting police officers.
Because they had no choice.
900 pleaded guilty to other crimes. They're also going to be eligible for a pardon from you?
Listen, it's a very tough system. Do you know almost nobody? I saw people that didn't even go into the building and they were convicted. And you had the police saying, come on in, come on in. I mean, you know, the police are saying, come on in, everybody, come on in. They had people, you know, you have a lot of cameras. They don't want to release the tapes. They don't want to release the tapes.
So, but you're going to consider pardoning even those who've pleaded guilty to crimes, including assaulting police officers?
Well, sometimes they say, here's your choice.
You're not ruling it out?
Look, I know the system. The system's a very corrupt system. They say to a guy, you're going to go to jail for 2 years or for 30 years. And these guys are looking, their whole lives have been destroyed. For 2 years, they've been destroyed. But the system is a very nasty system.
Okay. Let's
I'm going to look at everything. We're going to look at individual cases, yeah.
Okay.
But I'm going to be acting very quickly.
In
Seattle, people got killed in Seattle. Seattle, they took over Minneapolis. Slobbed from CNN, his shoulder. The situation in Minneapolis, they burned it down. I hear the jail is a hellhole. They've done reports, and you would say that's true. They've done reports. This is the most disgusting, filthy place. These people are living in hell.
Let me just...
And I think it's very unfair. Most likely I'll do it very quickly.
Very quickly. Okay, but some of them, 169 of them...
So, and I can't find a part where he said... she brings
on January 6th. Let me ask you this about January 6th. I think
Benny
you're going to want to
Thompson
answer
wrote
this.
in a statement that he has destroyed all evidence.
Let me ask you this about
It's
January
amazing.
6th.
I wish you could be you have such potential. If you could be just non-biased, you hurt yourself so badly. I'm telling you, they deleted and destroyed all the evidence. Everyone knows it. And you slough it off like it doesn't mean anything.
No, I'm just saying they deny it. That's all I'm saying.
Kristen, if I did it, you would be standing up in that chair shouting at me. And you know what I'd do? I'd say, you got me. They have done something so illegal. They have a committee sworn to, and because it of me,
let's see,
it made them, because it looked like to destroy that evidence.
I want to answer this question. You promised to pardon those who had attacked the Capitol on January 6th. Are you still vowing to follow through with that promise?
We're looking at it right now, most likely, yeah.
Well,
those people have suffered long and hard, and there may be some exceptions to it. I have to look. But, if somebody was radical, crazy, there might be some people from Antifa there. I don't know, because those people seem to be in good shape. Whatever happened to Scaffold Man? You know who Scaffold Man was? He stood on a scaffold telling everybody to go and nothing happened to him. Whatever happened to Ray Epps? Now, I don't know anything about Ray Epps, but it was sort of strange the way he was talking. Where is he? What happened to him? Because the people that did very little, they arrested an old woman because I don't think she did anything. They don't even know what she did. These people have suffered. Their lives have been destroyed. And yet in Portland, where they burn down half the city, they burn it down all the time. It's like a routine occurrence. They don't do anything. They attacked the courthouse, federal courthouse. They always say federal building. Okay. They destroyed the beautiful limestone exterior of the courthouse in Portland. They killed people in Portland. Seattle, people got killed in Seattle. Seattle, they took over a big chunk of the city. They took it over. They took the city away. Minneapolis, it looked like when they said this is a friendly protest, and yet over the poor slob from CNN, his shoulder, the entire city was burning down. It looked like World War II. Nothing happened. But wait, nothing happened. They took over the police station. They took over the police station in Minneapolis. They burned it down. Nothing happened to anybody. And yet these people have been in jail, and I hear the jail is a hellhole.
Talk about your cabinet picks. I know we started off.
So there was a part in here where she had asked him, would you even, give pardon to the individuals that killed a police officer or abused, beat up police officers? And he said something along the line of, well, they had no choice. And I'm just sitting here thinking, like, this is supposed to be the president, the party of law and order, and this guy is literally giving excuses to beat up and kill police officers. Let that be anybody that's not a Republican to say something like that. It will be game over for them. You know what I'm saying? But once again, like, I am just amazed on how half the country voted for this idiot. Like he has no idea. If somebody who never knew of America heard this guy talk, they wouldn't for 1 second believe this guy was in charge of the wealthiest, greatest country in the world. You wouldn't believe it. I still don't believe it. But I mean, I pinch myself every morning just to be sure. And unfortunately, this is reality. So once again, if you guys agree or disagree with anything that I said in this video, let me know in the comments down below, or hit that Discord link so me and you can have that one-on-one talk. And like always, let's have that conversation.